Force Recon Sniper Gunnery Sergeant Bob Lee Swagger and his spotter Corporal Donnie Fenn find themselves on a mission in Ethiopia. Their task is to provide overwatch for an Allied convoy, but their mission takes a deadly turn when enemy militia vehicles and a helicopter gunship ambush them. To their dismay, the Marines' CIA support team abandons them, leaving Swagger and Fenn to fend for themselves. Tragically, Fenn loses his life in the attack. Fast forward 3 years, and a retired Bob Lee Swagger now lives in seclusion in the mountains of Wyoming, accompanied only by his loyal pet dog. It is during this solitary existence that Swagger is approached by U.S. Army Colonel Isaac Johnson, accompanied by his associates, Payne and Memphis. They seek Swagger's assistance in preventing a possible assassination attempt on the president's life, as revealed by intelligence sources. Swagger agrees to help and aids in identifying the likely target location, Philadelphia. On the day of the supposed assassination, Swagger accompanies Johnson and his team to a room overlooking the site. However, it quickly becomes evident that the situation is a setup. Following Swagger's plan, a shot is fired, resulting in the death of the Ethiopian Archbishop Desmond Mutumbo, who was the president's guest. Chaos ensues as Swagger finds himself shot by a corrupt police officer on Johnson's payroll. To further incriminate Swagger, one of his rifles and ammunition are left at the scene. Despite the odds stacked against him, Swagger manages to escape, incapacitating FBI agent Nick Memphis and stealing his vehicle before evading the pursuing authorities, even crashing into the Delaware River. Wounded and in need of assistance, Swagger seeks refuge with Fenn's widow, Sarah, who tends to his injuries. Meanwhile, Agent Memphis, who harbored doubts about Swagger's guilt from the start, conducts an extensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting and Swagger's background. Johnson becomes aware of Memphis's increasing knowledge and orders his abduction, hoping to extract information. However, Swagger arrives just in time to eliminate Memphis's captors, rescue him, and enlist his help. Determined to uncover the truth, Swagger and Memphis travel to Tennessee, where they meet firearms expert Mr. Rate. Rate explains the possibility of manipulating a bullet's origin through a technique called paper patching, citing a round Swagger fired at a can of stew a week before the assassination. They conclude that the Bosnian sniper Mikhailo Srbic, operating under the alias Michael Sandor, is the only one capable of executing the seemingly impossible shot. In the midst of their investigation, Johnson discovers Swagger's regular correspondence with Sarah and orchestrates her kidnapping as leverage. Armed with new knowledge and equipped with necessary supplies, Swagger and Memphis embark on a mission to infiltrate Srbic's rural Virginia home. There, Srbic reveals to Swagger the depth of corruption within Johnson's operation and confesses to assassinating the Archbishop to prevent him from exposing the atrocities committed in Ethiopia by Johnson and his cohorts. Swagger uncovers his own involvement in covering up the retreat of contractors responsible for the massacre. Before they can extract further information, Srbic takes his own life. The duo then faces a formidable challenge, battling their way through Johnson's mercenaries sent to eliminate them. Eventually, Swagger arranges a meeting in Montana with Johnson and Senator Charles Meacham, the mastermind behind the corruption. Payne holds Sarah at gunpoint during the confrontation. Memphis becomes a decoy, drawing fire from Johnson's snipers, while Swagger eliminates them and frees Sarah. In a climactic moment, Sarah shoots and kills Payne. Swagger confronts Meacham, replaying a recorded confession from Srbic about the massacre. However, Meacham alludes to the vast extent of corruption, causing Swagger to burn the recording, realizing that preserving it would only put his life in further jeopardy. As the FBI arrives on the scene and takes Swagger into custody, he is granted a private meeting with U.S. Attorney General Russert, Johnson, Memphis, and other FBI personnel. Swagger's rifle, which was left at the scene of the assassination, is presented as evidence. Swagger proves that the rifle cannot fire due to the shorter firing pins he installs when leaving home. Memphis presents compelling photographs of the massacre as additional evidence to support Swagger's innocence. Despite the irrefutable evidence, Russert acknowledges that Meacham and Johnson cannot be charged for their crimes due to jurisdictional limitations. While Swagger is released, Russert privately suggests that extrajudicial means may be necessary to root out the deep-rooted corruption. Later on, Swagger discovers Meacham in his mountain cabin, where he is planning another agenda with Johnson and their cohorts. In a final act of vengeance, Swagger attacks the cabin, eliminating Meacham, Johnson, and their associates. He destroys the cabin before reuniting with Sarah, who awaits him in a vehicle, and they drive off into an uncertain but hopeful future. The story of the movie is an action-packed and suspenseful tale of betrayal, corruption, and the pursuit of justice. It showcases the resilience and resourcefulness of Bob Lee Swagger as he uncovers a far-reaching conspiracy while facing formidable challenges and insurmountable odds.
Subscribe to Cinematic Inspiration for more stories.